that should be making trades, and there are some trade rumors around, is the Denver Nuggets, right? So
Oh,
Jokic is still balling out. He's still doing what he does, but the Denver Nuggets are just more or less just hovering, right? Like if you had to say who the best team in the West is, you're not really considering the Denver Nuggets at this point in time, right?
you're
So
crazy to say that.
we already know that they don't really have much wiggle room besides like an MPJ. But what moves can they make to kind of get some players, and who can they actually go after to to turn this kind of season around? Because Jokic isn't going to continue to play this. Like he has years on him, like he has years to go for sure. But you know, with this nucleus of Jamal and Jokic and Aaron Gordon, what else can you move besides like an MPJ to get you to that level? And who do you need to get at this
To
point?
get anybody to get anybody of value, you have to move MPJ though. You have
Yeah,
to. Like
yeah,
nobody wants Gordon, Aaron Gordon, respectfully. And even if you do trade him, it's nothing. It's not. It's going to be nothing of value. You're probably going to get worse. Um,
yeah.
Jamal Murray just signed that $200+ million contract, and with the way he's playing, nobody's not taking that contract on. So I say that all to say, and Christian Brown's contract's not big enough to get anybody of value either. I say it to say it has to be Michael Porter Jr., bro. Like it has to. It has to. Like, there's nobody else. Westbrook, again, only making about $3 million a year. Can't do much with there. It's got to be MPJ. Now, what could they get? Um, in the trade market, there's not much. There's really not much right now. Um, Brandon Ingram for MPJ. I don't know. There's Jimmy Butler available. Um, Cam Thomas is not moving the needle for you at all. It does give you a bit of a score. Apparently, what's been getting some traction is actually Zach LaVine. Apparently,
Hmm.
Zach LaVine to the Nuggets might be a realistic option for them. I don't know if I like it. I was never a Zach LaVine fan. He's always just
Yeah,
been a dunker to me, respectfully.
yeah,
Um, but I guess it does open up. It opens up the floor for them because Michael Porter Jr. is like a one trick pony, bro. He's a shooter. He's not like he's not even somebody to take the ball off take the ball off the floor. Get to the free throw line. He's a spot up shooter. He's streaky at that. Trying to say at least with Zach LaVine, he can create his own shot. Trying to say put the ball on the floor, get to the free throw
hmm,
line. He's still athletic to a certain extent. So that's the like I don't see who else you could trade, and I don't know who else you could get. I kind of like the Pelicans trade with Brandon Ingram. I don't know if it's possible, but I like Brandon Ingram. I would say maybe try to go for that, but it's probably unrealistic based on the assets they have.
yeah. That would be a pretty good piece. First of all, is Brandon on the injury report, or is he's balling right now? I don't think so, right?
He's injured right now. Yeah, he's
He's injured
injured.
right now. Yeah. But yeah, besides that, may be the only two players out there, as you mentioned. Zach LaVine, uh, it's more or less what MPJ already brings to your team. You're going to get 20 points, 18 to 20 points a game, right?
Fair.
They're not a defensive, stopper. They're not like, a playmaker. They're just there to put up some shots. You're gonna get some highlights out of Zach LaVine, right? You're gonna bring some energy to the game. Maybe a different dynamic between Jamal and Jokic. Maybe that's what the most you could hope for, right? Brandon
True.
Ingram now on the other side, if it seems a little bit more costly, but if they got someone like a Brandon Ingram that had so much more dynamic right off, like you could see the dynamic, right? He's going to bring you potentially 25 to 30 points a game. He's going to have a
Facts.
little bit more room because you got to cover Jamal, you got to cover Jokic, and Jokic is going to do his magician circus act every night. So um, you're going to be really distracted with that. You know what I mean? That really opens up, Brandon to be that engine that, we kind of saw flashes of in New Orleans because, when Zion was healthy and, they had McCullough, CJ, and, all the gang, like they were playing pretty good. And it allowed
Right.
him to, go and get like 28 and 8 and 5, right? And they were clicking. That's why they were sitting at like 6th seed for a while
For a
last season.
minute.
Right, they were there
Yep.
for a while. So, if you move Brandon to a team like Denver, right, it may cost you some picks. I don't know if they have much picks out there, but if you're able to do that, that kind of brings you back in that, maybe not a, first seed in the West, but you're going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs. A very, very tough teams, whether, Brandon has that experience or not. He's what, 6'8", 6'9", right? And could score like no other. So I think that would really, I'd prefer Brandon over, Zach for sure. But I think either one of them, something has to give, like a change has to
Something.
come, because the cat's out the bag. This strategy, this combination of players won't get it over the hump, right? So if you're gonna keep, placing fourth and fifth in the West or wherever they sit, sixth, seventh, you're not getting no draft picks. You're not, going far. You're going to the semis, if that, right? So I think one of those two players would be the best move to kind of make. But
You have to make a move though, because you have to make a move because we saw this team in the playoffs. You
yeah,
know, they lost a lot of role players. Something's got to give. They got to do it. For Jokic is in the middle of his prime, playing at an MVP level right now. You need to get somebody, even if it's just a new guy, just to kind of maybe just change things up.
yeah,
But
just
you got
spice things up.
spice things. Like just do something. But you can't go back to the NBA playoffs with this roster and expect a different result from last season. I just don't see it right now.